Well, here we are driving up to Badbury Rings on a really cold, foggy day, so I don't think we're going to see much, but we're driving up here today to see where the Clubmen met back in 1645. I keep saying 1645, but that's the name of the blog. I've got to remember that. And it's there was a large body of men met back here on May 25th back in the 17th century, and it's quite an appropriate day because of all the constitutional shenanigans going on today in the High Court with Parliament. So we're sort of like doing a full circle with a little homage to the Clubmen which met up here back in those times. Here we are at Badbury Rings, and as you can see, it's really foggy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk up as close as I can get so you can see Badbury Rings, but I don't think we're going to see much, but I can still tell you what happened. Stood here on the outer ring of Badbury Rings, and you've got to imagine in front of me 3,000, 4,000 people listening to Thomas Young as he spoke the Desires and Resolutions Declaration to the people gathered in front of him. Now, Thomas Young is a bit of a man of history himself, because later at Shaftesbury, when all the Clubmen leaders were arrested pre-Hamilton Hill, he's actually described as from the Old Star Chamber and a man more elegant and trustworthy. So a bit of a cad, you could say. Now the Desires and Resolutions Declaration, it was read out by Thomas Young to the 3,000 or 4,000 people who gathered here, was actually put together at a place called Gorehead's Corner. Now we have no records of where Gorehead's Corner is, it's got lost in the time of history, but what I believe is just the north of Badbury Rings here, there's this triangular field, and Gore means triangular, corner of as such, so maybe it was put together there, but we don't know. But we never know, we might find that later on through the archives. Oh. This is Sheila, my camera lady.
Hello.
Who does all the nice fancy camera work. So you know, a big hands up for her. Now we're going up here to look at the woods. Okay. Now this is May 25th in 1645. So it's very early on when the Clubmen were getting together and trying to get things organised against the plundering from both sides. The Royalists and the Parliamentarians were both coming into the county of Dorset and running amok, taking people's goods, properties, farmland, and destroying property, and people were left sort of destitute. Here was a lawful document, you know, the Desires and Resolutions, which they put to both parties in the English Civil War, just to put a stop to the plundering in this area. So you could say early on it was quite amicable, later on it was going to get very bloody. Now this is quite early on with the journey of the Clubmen in this area. I'm going to go to Dorset, I'm going to go to Wiltshire, I'm going to go to all these ancient hill forts and woodlands and open spaces where the Clubmen met, and do short pieces to camera just to describe what happened on those days and what was read out, because it was very much the southwest of England grouping together of farmers and local people. It wasn't based in London, it wasn't based about the levellers or the diggers or a constitutional thing. It was about just general ordinary people who were subjugated to both sides in the Civil War. Both sides were, you know, imposing what they thought was correct on these people, and they weren't having it. So just stay with me on this journey, and we'll go to interesting places and find out more what happened with the Clubmen.